Well, with us right now is Dr. Lisa Curcio from Breastlink here in Laguna Hills. Always good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've been on. It's fantastic.
Too long.
It has been, yeah, but I'm glad you're here today. And we're going to talk about the difference between dedicated surgeons, and in this case, breast surgeons, of course, and general surgeons. And I would imagine nowadays a lot of different specialties are out there, but people might go, well, what is really the difference? Is it just they decide, well, I'm going to do this now only? Is there more education behind it?
Well, good question, very good question. So breast cancer is a disease or a problem that we have that is becoming very complicated now. We have very sophisticated, very personalized treatments for breast cancer. So as you can imagine, 20 years ago, the general surgeon who took out your gallbladder, took out your appendix, fixed your hernia, was also the surgeon who took care of your breast cancer. But now that things have gotten so complicated, it really makes a lot more sense to have someone who just does breast surgery and really is focused in on that. And that's what dedicated breast surgeons do. Now, there's kind of been an evolution. In the beginning, 15, 20 years ago, there were general surgeons who started to see more and more breast cancer patients and then stopped doing some of the other general surgeries. So we have one or two surgeons like that in our practice. But the majority of breast dedicated surgeons that are currently in our practice have done training beyond general surgery, done a very focused breast fellowship of some sort. I myself did a surgical oncology fellowship because there weren't breast fellowships when they were just starting to, but I did a fellowship at City of Hope on all of cancer surgery with an emphasis on breast surgery.
Okay, you brought up a good point there. Are we getting to that level in different cancers that there's now subgroups within there? Like you said, you were in oncology, but now we have oncology specializing in breast cancer, maybe colon cancer, and that sort of thing, because as you said, it's getting more complicated, but in reality, there's so many new techniques and technologies out there, and it could be totally different for each one, right?
Absolutely, and I think when I did my fellowship in the 90s, it was very common for surgical oncologists. So we did pancreatic surgery, we did colon surgery, but we weren't doing elective surgery like gallbladders, hernias, things of that. So we really focused in on cancer surgery. But I think once again, since that time to now, medicine's become so much more personalized and so much more specialized that now you're seeing that now there are GI doctors that only do, colon cancer. There are liver surgeons, hepatic surgeons. So really a lot of medicine is starting to specialize.
Right, and as you see it, has this made the world of surgery more difficult for the patient to navigate, to make sure that they go in and they're going, do they need to ask that question? What kind of surgeon am I getting here?
Well, I think that's really important, and what we try to do at Breastlink is educate patients as to what's the difference. Because you do see some patients that say, I have breast cancer now, I'm going to go see the surgeon who did my gallbladder. And although that's not a wrong decision, we see a lot of times patients in second opinion who have seen general surgeons, and because they don't eat, drink, and live it every day. They're not going to meetings 2 or 3 times a year with breast only. We can offer so much more in terms of just the treatment plan. We oftentimes see those patients say, whoa, this is really a dramatic difference from the opinion I got from a general surgeon. So not to say that general surgeons can't do breast surgery, I think we just add a dimension and sometimes more options. We're also very committed to research. So we have innovative technologies like our cryoablation, which most general surgeons are not doing. It's really breast dedicated surgeons who are doing things like that.
And I would imagine that with the schooling and all, the way it's changed and all the new technologies out there, it would be quite difficult and cumbersome for a surgeon, as good as they might be, to know every little nuance of every little procedure, from a gallbladder to breast cancer. I don't think anybody, no matter how good they are, could keep that all in their mind and know where to instantly tap into and find the information.
Exactly. When I first came to Orange County, I joined a general surgery group and was doing ER call and trauma call and trying to develop a cancer practice for cancer surgery. And I really found that I didn't feel like I was doing any one particular thing really well. For me, I really wanted to be able to just focus and do one area really well. And when patients sometimes interview me as their surgeon, they'll say, how many surgeries like this have you done? And obviously someone who's done breast cancer only, that number that they're going to give is so much higher than someone who does maybe 15–20% of their practice breast surgery.
Yeah, exactly. Now at Breastlink, you mentioned you have breast dedicated surgeons. You have some general surgeons as well?
We have, no, we just have one breast surgeon who didn't do a fellowship.
Okay, all right.
But they're all breast dedicated surgeons.
And if someone goes in and, it can happen certainly that they may have another cancer as well, you folks can turn around and go, well, here's somebody else you should be seeing as well for this particular thing. And obviously, with all the different surgeons that and the connections and all that, you can tap into what is needed for anything. If unfortunately, you come across something else that could be.
Absolutely, and there were rare cases in my career where we have diagnosed other cancers either right at the time that we're treating the breast cancer or shortly thereafter. When I first made the transition from doing general surgery to breast dedicated, for a short period of time, I did do some of those procedures, but as I've become much more focused, I really want them to go to someone who's focused in that particular area, and that's no longer me because my focus is all on breast.
Yeah, exactly. Now, as far as Breastlink goes, obviously over the years, the way the practice has grown, it started in Orange, am I right?
Yes.
Yes. And it's what the practice is dedicated to.
Absolutely.
Am I right? And that's what makes it I should say successful for you folks, but really successful for the patients. That's what counts.
I mean, it's to the point where, it's not only about the day-to-day practice, it's about the overall patient experience with the breast problem. We're actually even, working on, campaigns to change maybe some of the healthcare task force recommendations about 40, not 50, things of that nature. So we really look at the whole picture of care delivery and how care delivery is going to be, over the next decade. We're really kind of at the forefront of trying to be a leader with the insurance industries and keeping good quality care at affordable prices.
Just as far as the whole industry is going, do you see, and I don't mean just breast cancer, do you see more of this happening with other cancers and other procedures as well? Even though you folks obviously deal with breast cancer, but with colon cancer or with brain cancer or anything like that.
Oh, absolutely.
That it's getting to the point where people are becoming more dedicated in that field because there's so much more going on and so much more techniques to learn.
Exactly, and that is the trend. That is the trend nowadays. And actually in breast surgery in particular, there have been studies to show that patients that are treated by breast dedicated surgeons have better overall survival than patients that are treated by non-breast dedicated surgeons. So that really speaks a world to the technologies that we're working with every day and that we offer our patients. The dimension to their treatment planning is just so much different than someone who just does this for a small portion of their practice.
Yeah, exactly. Good to see you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I hope we see you.
Thank you.
Don't stay away so long.
Okay, I promise not to.
I know she's very busy. But Dr. Lisa Curcio, Breastlink Laguna Hills, and you can see how dedicated she is, how dedicated their practice is. And as things get more complicated in the world of medicine, it's good that people are focusing and dedicating on one particular type of need, and they just get better at it.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Good to see you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.